Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. Today we're talking about your new culture. Are you ready? Let's get started. You know, wherever there are people who gather, there is culture. There is culture in families, there's culture in communities, there's culture in teams and organizations. Everywhere people gather, there is culture. Because all that culture is the way we do things around here, and in organizations, how you succeed around here, and sort of the collective stories we tell each other about where we are and where we've been. That's what culture is. And right now, as I record this, as the pandemic winds down, there are three cultures in play for you to consider. And here they are. Culture number one, the pre-pandemic culture. Now, there are some people and some leaders that are yearning for and hoping for us returning to that pre-pandemic culture as if, number one, that it was perfect before. For most, it wasn't, but there are many of us yearning to go back in that Wayback Machine to a time when we go back to that pre-pandemic culture. I'll say more about that in a second. But we had one then. And now we have what I'll call the pandemic culture, the remote culture, the culture that you have now, right? There's the culture that you had, the culture that you have now, or have been living with and working with during the last number of months. And then the third culture is what we'll call the post-pandemic culture, the future culture. Perhaps it's the hybrid culture. Perhaps it's even we're bringing everybody back to the office culture. But the thing is, you can't go back. Because even if you wanted to bring everybody back and have the culture be exactly the same as it was before, and even if you do bring everybody back, and even if that's the right answer and everyone in the organization supports it, it will never be the same as it was before. The old metaphor says that you can't step into the same river twice. The river continues to go past you. And the 18 months that people spent working differently has changed their experience, their perspective, and their expectations, and you can never go all the way back. And while the pre-pandemic culture and our current pandemic culture matter, there's only one that really matters, and that's the one that is to come. And the two that we've got to work with, the past and the present, are useful and helpful, but really our challenge is to create the one we want. To create the one we want. What is the culture that we want? That's your next culture is your new culture. And so being focused on creating it and making it what you want is where you'll get great value. Now, if we can help you with that in your organization, let us know. We can share resources and ideas to help you do it. That goes beyond what we can accomplish in this short video and this short podcast episode. But the big idea here is that at the end of the day, it is the next culture that matters. That's the one that will make all the difference for your future. Let me close with today's tweet. Your next culture is a new culture. Decide what you want and start creating it today. Creating your next culture, your new culture, is in fact part of everything that relates to living in a future of work that's different. And so whether that looks like remote or hybrid for you, we have a newsletter that comes out every week talking about the very latest ideas, tips, technologies, tools to help you succeed in this new world of work. We call it the Remote Work Newsletter. It's completely free. All the information for you to sign up for it is here. Hope you'll do that. And I hope you'll come back next week for another episode of Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast.